Now, one of the most commonly asked questions in the car community is wheel specs, and it's no different in the mini truck world either. I might only have steelies on the van at the moment, but there's always someone asking what size they are or what car they came off. So, since I've bought not one, but 2 sets of wheels for the key truck to replace them, I thought I'd cover everything you might want to know about them all in one video. And I'll share the specs of the steelies I'm taking off too, just in case you want to copy the setup and ruin the ride of your Acti. Seriously, it would be more comfortable driving around with an axe in your spine. Anyway, let me show you what I've bought. Grab yourself a cuppa, get sat down, and let's get into it. As far as steelies go, I have to say that these look awesome on the van. The lip isn't a perfect colour match, you can see what the previous owner was going for, but because the tyres are virtually painted on, the ride is absolutely horrific. I'll get back to the specs of these a little bit later on, but first I just want to take you through my plan. I want to run a larger profile tyre to try and regain a little bit of comfort since I'm such an old man now. I also fancy having a set for normal everyday use and then an off-roading setup for when I grow a pair and take this down some green lanes. Obviously I can't go running 16-inch wheels again because anything bigger than this overall diameter and I'll probably start rubbing on places without the use of spacers, and I want to avoid using them for the time being. So, to get around this I'm going to drop the rim size. Anything would be an improvement to be honest, but I settled on 13 inches because I think this was the biggest OEM size that Actis came with from factory, and I'm a sucker for OEM specs if I can stick to them. Right, so they're a 4x100 stud pattern, I want nothing bigger than 13 inches, oi oi. And ideally I need to keep it under 6J depending on the offset to stop them from poking out past the bodywork, because although I do love these with wide arches, I'm not planning on fitting any just yet. I scoured eBay, found a set for cheap and popped them in my watch list because the auction was due to finish in 7 days time. But because I'm an impatient idiot, I went over on a Facebook marketplace and, well, ended up buying some off there as well. And here they are. I know they're pretty scratty at the moment, but the fact I managed to find a set of 5 genuine Honda wheels which theoretically should bolt straight on no problem just blew my mind. They're off a 2nd generation Honda Prelude, so they are properly rare. They're a little bit wider than what comes from factory with an offset of 45, so as long as they clear the calipers on the front of the truck we should be laughing. First off though, they just needed a decent clean just to make sure that they weren't cracked anywhere before I took them to go get them refurbished, because there's 35 years worth of brake dust built up on them, and to be honest with you, after a decent scrub they came up alright. I already knew what colour I wanted to have them powder coated in, but I just wanted to check that 1, they fitted, and 2, the tyres cleared the springs, because as you can see it's pretty tight around the back of there. And since these tyres are a lot chunkier than what's going to go back on there, if they're clear, we should be all good. So I nipped up to Glenn's gaff and we tested them out. The 185 tyres will be going anyway because they're shot, and I'm not a fan of the bulging sidewalls, but to my surprise, there was actually a fair bit of clearance with these on. These are going to be my off-road wheels, and I didn't realise that finding a decent set of knobblies for the 13-inch rims was going to be so tricky, but I got there in the end. I'll take you through the specs in a sec, but first, remember that set of wheels that I put in my watch list earlier on? Well, I managed to snipe them last minute. Again, these are in dire need of a refurb, but they're genuine BBS miles from a BMW E21. 13-inch, the same 4x100 stud pattern, only these are 6J rather than 5 with an offset of 18. I've got the tyres for these too, so I'll hand it over to Real Life Luke now just to take you through the specs before I send them off to get refurbished. In a bit. Here we have it then. So we've got the off-roading set over here, the 2nd generation Honda Prelude wheels, I think they're from like 1984, 85, and then we've got the everyday sort of set that we're going to be using, the BBS Miles, I think is how you pronounce it, off a BMW E21, 4x100, same as the Honda wheels, 4x100 fitment, 6J these, so slightly wider, the offset I think is 13, if you can see there, all the paint's flaking away, ET13. So it might stick out a little bit, but I can live with that. I don't really want to be putting the wide arches on just yet, but might have to, maybe not. Tyres, we've got the Toyo Nano Energy 3s. They were literally just the cheapest tyre that I could find for this size wheel. The 175 by 60 by 13, so they should sit fairly square. I don't think there's going to be too much sort of bulge on the sidewall, which is what I was after. Should look really good. I'm taking them to get refurbished tomorrow, so hopefully they won't look like that for long. I think I'm going to go gold with these. I was debating whether to go for like a polished lip, but I think I might just go all gold and then I can always change it afterwards. Moving on to these. Probably seen these already. I've already done a little bit of B-roll for these, but these have cleaned up really nicely. The Honda Prelude 2nd gen wheels, 5J/13, offset 45, test fitted them already, absolutely spot on. Proved to be a bit of a nightmare trying to get tyres for these, but Demon Tweaks ended up supplying me with these proper knobbly boys, the Max Sport Hackers, and they are, let's have a look at the tyre size, 155/70/13s, and yeah, the sidewall is so soft, so didn't really want to go for 185s again, because I thought with the sidewall being so soft it's probably going to want to flex and then touch the strut or the spring or whatever, so I've gone for a slightly narrower tyre. These are going to be going black, but I'm going to keep that gold writing on. I am missing the centre cap on the spare wheel because I've got 5 of these and I've got 4 of those. I'm missing the centre cap on these 2, but I can 3D print one. Yeah, I'm going to go for a gloss black finish on these. I'm going to try and keep this gold writing as well. I don't think the place where I'm taking them will be able to do that. It'll just go all black and then I'll sort the gold writing out afterwards. But yeah, off-roading set. Then we've got the everyday set, so these are probably going to go on the van pretty much straight away, and I'll save these for a rainy day or when I take it off-roading. Next time you see these, they'll be getting dropped off at Romax. Catch you in a bit.
Oh, mucho está calor.
So, here they are. I've wrapped the centre caps badly on the Honda wheels, but the Max Sport tyres look absolutely mega mounted on them. The fitment is exactly what I was after, and I can't wait to try them on some muddy lanes. As for the BBSs, well, they've cleaned up alright. They're still a little bit pitted under that paintwork, but I mean, they were properly dog rough before I took them to get refurbished, so I'm still well happy with how they've turned out. Again, I've gone for a chunky tyre setup, which I'll stick on screen for you to copy if you want to, but the time has come to throw them on the van, and I haven't even test fitted the BBSs yet, so this should be fun. Turns out though, they fit pretty well. I might have to go down the route of fitting wider arches after all, since these are going to be my everyday wheel, and I don't want to be getting pulled over by the 5.0 all the time. But I mean, I was probably going to do it at some point anyway, so I've just got an excuse to now. I'll pop all of the specs on screen for each setup now so you can take a screenshot or whatever, but that's it. Hope you found this video useful. If you did, drop it a like and let me know down in the comments. There's more mini truck content coming right up too, so subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!